So I want to talk about the thing that everyone's talking about right now, the top story, what happened yesterday in New York City. The CEO of United Healthcare assassinated by, I think, still an unknown assailant. I still think they haven't got the guy. And I love the fucking police conference. They say, yeah, he's anywhere from 5'2" to 6'5". I'm like, wow, that's like a broad range right there. How the fuck is that useful at all to try to find the guy? But yeah, there's a lot of people online who hope that they never find the guy, and they think the guy's a hero, and the guy who the CEO is, you know, he deserved his death and everything. And you know, I'm the type of person who never wishes violence or death on anybody, regardless of how I feel. But I'm gonna say this though, I can absolutely understand where people are coming from when it comes to this. Like when it comes to like just some, you know, like let's say if someone who is in a political party, like a Republican dies or a Democrat dies, like, you know, whatever the opposite of your political party is, they die and people are just fucking celebrating. Like certain people I can understand, like Mitch, when that comes. Okay, you know, he was kind of a corrupt POS, right? Other people, yeah. But like there's sometimes where like people die and people celebrate their death and it's just like a little bit too much for me, and I'm like, okay, you guys are taking it way too far. When it comes to the United Healthcare guy, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that one, because I'm someone who's currently living without health insurance because of how unaffordable it is. And look, this isn't just stuff like a CEO of like your typical company that like just nickel and dimes people and is a swindler and just, you know, overcharges for stuff, and it is what it is. Like it sucks, but you just deal with it because it's, you know, like let's say like PlayStation, for example, how like they're just fucking, you know, they're charging a shit ton of money for PlayStation Plus. You know, they keep raising the price for that. The games, the prices of that keeps increasing and everything, right? But if the CEO of PlayStation was killed, I'd be like, that's definitely like way too far. Wow, like that people are really like, you know, that upset over PlayStation, over a fucking video game thing, right? When it comes to health insurance, though, I have a little bit more of, I don't know if empathy is the right word. Like, I don't know if I feel empathetic towards the shooter. You don't know, like, what their situation is, though. There's a fucking school bus, so I had to stop because he just, like, fucking hit his lights right in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Don't run a school bus because you'll get like a $300 fine. That actually happened to someone who I know. Like, why the fuck would you do that? There are people who actually still fucking do that shit, not knowing they have fucking cameras and shit. Anyway, what was I talking? Oh, yeah. Like, this is life and death. When we're talking about health insurance, it's literally life and death. So I kind of have more of an understanding of, like, why people are, like, so, like, to the point where, like, they feel like they have to do that. You never know. When it comes to the shooter, his mother or his father or someone in his family could have had some fucking shit happened where, like, they needed, like, life-saving treatment or life-saving surgery or whatever, but it was denied and the family member died. I could see there being, like, some deep personal motivation here where it's like, oh, you can clearly understand the motive. Like, it's not like, okay, you can argue the person is a sociopath and the person is clearly mentally not right to shoot and kill someone in broad daylight in Manhattan, right? You could argue that, but like I could at least understand the motive. I'm not saying I agree with it or I'm defending it or I'm condoning it, but at least I can understand like the reason for it. And it's like, okay, yeah, like I would never shoot the CEO of a healthcare company, even if it was the company that denied me coverage and I got all fucked up, and even if it caused me to go into like medical debt or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not the type of person that I don't think I could ever kill someone unless it was like someone breaks in and I have to shoot that, like that kind of thing, right? Otherwise, I can't see myself ever getting to that point. But, you know, most of the people who do crimes like this, it's someone who feels like they have nothing left to lose, right? That's something you always hear commonly, and that may have been the case here, but, like, it's crazy they still haven't fucking got him yet. They still haven't. I mean, they probably... Thing is, when it comes to rich people getting killed, those crimes are never really unsolved, especially influential people like the CEO of a major healthcare, the largest healthcare provider, I believe, in the United States. So I think they're eventually going to get the guy. If they haven't already, they could have gotten him, and I didn't see the news yet. But it's like, damn, like it's crazy, just like that. The entire legacy, like, you die, and millions of people are just dancing in your grave and are laughing and having a good time and doing memes and everything. The last time I remember people just being like so fucking like just laughing so hard at someone's death and being like so happy about it, or just like apathetic at least, was the fucking Titan submersible, the CEO of that company, whatever the name of that shit was. I forget that Stockton Rush, was that his name? I think that was his name. Except it was sad because there was a 17-year-old boy that was also on there with his father. Like, the 17-year-old, that was fucking sick, because he, you know, he wanted to go, but still, he was a kid, you know what I mean? So that's definitely not fun and funny, but at least, you know, that guy in particular looking back at all the videos and him talking about how, well, we don't need regulations, this is like the best fucking submarine, I'm a fucking genius and everything, having a fucking Xbox controller as the fucking remote, you know, all those different things together. Like, yeah, that was like the last time that people were just like fucking laughing and really just like dancing on someone's grave. This shit was like, is really fucking crazy though. We're like, someone actually, like, it's pretty much cold blood murder, right? And people are like rooting for the guy who did the shooting, right? Like, and they don't get, they have no sympathy for the guy at all that died. I think he was 50 years old. I don't know if he had any kids or a wife or anything. I didn't really look too much into his personal life or his background. But just the fact that, you know, there are a lot of people that get fucked over by the insurance companies, and healthcare in America is a fucking joke, you know? It really is. And you know, obviously, like, all these different things have come out now since the shooting about how United Healthcare has the largest rate of, like, declining care. I think their decline rate is like 31% when it comes to, like, covering stuff like, you know, I don't know, like doctor's visits and emergency, like, all of it combined. They're like the highest by far out of all the major healthcare providers. I've never dealt with them before. I forget the name of the insurance I had. I had like state insurance, but I forget the company that was doing it. But it was like some local company. It wasn't like a big major one like a United Healthcare or Blue Cross Blue Shield. Speaking of Blue Cross Blue Shield, wow, what a day to announce that. I'm sure you guys saw this. Literally the day of the assassination of the United Healthcare CEO, fucking the Blue Cross Blue Shield announces that they're no longer covering anesthesia with the fucking insurance. Like, it's no longer covered, and you have to pay out of pocket. I'm like, wow, what fucking timing there? Like, they must have already, like, had it, like, you know, they were planning on announcing it on that date. There's no way they're like, oh, now's the time to announce this. Like, no, but they definitely should have waited maybe at least another, I don't know, couple weeks after that. Like, really? I'm just amazed by that. But, you know, I've had some bad experiences with health insurance and healthcare. My father, when he was dying of cancer, so the chemo and everything was covered. So the actual treatment itself was actually covered, thankfully. So that part was, I guess, good. He ended up dying anyway, but, you know, that, like, you can't blame the insurance company for that at the very least. But what ended up happening that was actually really, really bad is that my mom had to quit her job in order to be able to transport him to the hospital, because it was an hour drive away from the house. And that's, you know, the only place that, the closest place really that could provide cancer treatment. So, had to drive on your own dime, on your own time, and they wouldn't provide any rides because they said it was too far away, and they wouldn't cover it. It was too expensive. Because it was like, if you paid for it yourself, it was like $400 a day to get rides. Like, it was absolutely insane. So, that was one thing. And then, you know, the other thing, obviously, just like the fact that I just can't fucking afford insurance at all. And I'm really, really struggling with all that. And even if, like, a lot of the insurance that I do see that's, like, affordable is, like, you like, extremely high co-payments and all this fucking shit. I've talked about healthcare before and my experience with it and all this fucking shit. But it goes without saying that, like, it's really, really fucked right now. and it's really bad, like the American healthcare system. Not that other healthcare systems are perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just an inherently flawed system that it's for profit, right? So people are going to die as a result because it's not profitable to keep people alive and to give, for them to have the healthcare that they need, which, is expensive, So that's why there's a lot of apathy and there's a lot of celebration, all this different shit. You don't have to agree with it or like it or not, but you can definitely understand it and definitely see where it's coming from, right? If you're rich and you have insurance and you have no fucking problems, then obviously you're not going to relate to that at all. But if you're just a common person just trying to get by and you're struggling to make ends meet and you have one bad fucking thing happen to you and you're fucking bankrupt, that happens all the fucking time to so many fucking people who do the right thing and do whatever they, do all the things they should do, and they're not doing stupid things, but they just happen to have a fucking broken leg or whatever fucking happens. It's just a freak accident and just shit happens in life, right? One fucking hospital, long fucking stay at a hospital can just fuck you, even with insurance a lot of the time. It can fuck you. So, it just speaks to just how broken things are, and you can be okay with it or not be okay with how people are reacting to it, but you can definitely see where that's coming from at the very least.